Welcome back to our series with the newest Australian long drivers, Matt Stubbs and Sebastian Twaddell. All right, I don't know why I'm struggling with that. This is part 2 of our series talking about how Seb went from 230 to 240 and broke the world record in both club head and ball speed. Stay tuned, you're not gonna wanna miss this. All right, Seb, so 240. That's a pretty big milestone in our world. And actually it was with a left dash, so
it was, yeah.
Who knows? What do you think that would have been with a Volvic? Maybe.
I mean, yeah. If you guys wanted to share the Volvic AMTs, I mean, we want to find out.
Do not give these guys any AMTs. We're keeping that for us. So, nonetheless, very impressive. You hit 150 or 169 as well on a track, man.
Yeah, 169.
Which is phenomenal. Matt's pushing crazy speeds on the cusp of 230 as well.
Yeah, 229.2 at the moment.
So he'll be there shortly. But so it's interesting. You went from 230 to 240, and I noticed that you started making a different swing at it. You actually implemented a drill that had a little pump through the transition.
Yeah, little double pump action.
So let's show them, and then we'll talk about it. It almost reminded me of a little Victor Hovland. Was that ever mentioned in the process?
It wasn't something that was mentioned, but I did see a video back of Victor doing it. I was like, that does look actually very familiar.
Yeah.
So maybe he had something. He has something behind it.
Yeah. So let's see it, and then we'll break it down. So crazy to see in person. I mean, it's really fast. 157 on the quad. Keep in mind he hasn't been swinging 218, so that's a little bit of a break, and then hitting a golf ball, which typically when we're speed training, it's usually pretty repetitive. But nonetheless, very impressive. Let's talk about this. So where did this pump drill come from, and what was the thinking behind it?
Yeah, so I always had the tendency especially in the backswing transition, my arms would fall into the body, just collapse in, become too close, and then it just wasn't efficient for speed. I wasn't using my long levers, just get stuck there as well. So yeah, our coach Craig Parker came up with this drill to up the top, pump, keep the right arm wide, up again, swing, and that just helped keep the width, and yeah, started using the long arms levers properly, and that's where we saw some big speed jumps.
So if you can imagine, go ahead and demonstrate that first one again. So if you go to the top, so if his arms collapsed.
They collapsed, it was more, they'd come down like that and fall in, the way down. So what this did, it allowed me to left heel plant, right arm out, back to the top, and then it would just help keep that.
So the main thought is around the arms, keeping it wider.
Yeah, especially the right arm. The right arm was always the feel. So it feels like the right arm out that way. Almost like the top of the elbow is just wide away from the body.
And it's interesting because if you look at the direction the hand path is moving, it's moving out and then down, which if he was in fact over collapsing, that hand path would get too narrow. He wouldn't have as much time to create speed. Do you feel anything around the shaft? Are you trying to throw the shaft or get it to kick? Or is it mainly just that right arm?
It's mainly just the right arm.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to feel anything really particular like loading or throwing it. Just keeping that right arm wide from the body is just being the trigger the whole time.
And so when you started this, what did you see as far as speed goes? Did you see a jump right out of the get-go, or did it take a little bit of time to where you noticed a jump and then?
The first session doing it was actually towards the end of one of our training sessions, and the speed jumped up probably 5 miles an hour, and that was a very slow backswing as well doing that. So it went up to 155, and then I'd say 1 or 2 sessions later, when we really started noticing some pretty big speed jumps, like consistently 155 to 157, 58. And then when we did a speed session of that, that's when it jumped up to we broke the 160 on TrackMan, and then just kept pushing that 165. And then a session later, 169.6 club speed.
Yeah, and this is something we were chatting about in Hobe Sound. You actually said the pump makes it feel more effortless. It doesn't look crazy. I mean, it doesn't look out of control. It looks pretty controlled. As far as tempo goes or intent goes, what's kind of going through your mind? Do you feel like it's fast? Do you feel like it's smooth? Where are you at on that?
It just feels like it's smooth. So especially going back, I'm just trying to move everything as one piece, get to the top. It just feels just nice and smooth, controlled. And then during those 2 speed sessions where I went 165 for the first time and later 169, the feeling was really pulling hard down with that while keeping it right. That would be the only sort of fast tempo sort of motion in the swing. But apart from that, it's controlled back and then just let the levers create the speed and all
I
the
love
pressures.
it. I love it. Now, you obviously came from pitching background, and we talked about the first progression that you went
Yeah,
through. You
baseball.
felt very similar to a pitcher. Any correlation to your pitching days with this movement, or is it pretty much?
It's pretty much scratched that sort of feeling. Now it's its own sort of motion in a way, just that wide arm and that left heel planting, bringing it down.
So I'm going to ask you a loaded question.
Yep. Let's hear
How
it.
fast do you think you could go?
Well, we've actually had a number on our fridge for the last 6 months.
You want to reveal it here on the Hip
I
Ball?
won't reveal it now.
All right.
But it's a lot higher than what I've currently got.
Okay.
So I'm confident it's going to happen
Stay
soon.
tuned. Well, I don't even know that number, but I'm excited to see. Obviously, you can see these guys are specimens. Sebastian is huge. Me and Matt didn't get that height, but he's got the levers to go with it. Let's do one more and kind of go through it. Do you feel the shaft as you're pumping it actually almost pick up momentum?
Not really, actually. That's I've seen a few people doing it, and they've talked about that building momentum.
Yeah.
Which, that's not the goal
Not
of it
the
anyway.
case.
That's what I do. But so it's like moving everything back as like one piece, getting to the right side, keeping the hands as high as possible, and then that left heel into the ground, which brings the right arm down, and again just filling that wide right elbow, and then back up again, left heel plants, and it just comes down as a normal swing from there.
Love that.
Yeah.
He's keeping that hand path nice and wide, giving him more time to impact.
Yeah, more time to impact really, and let the lower body get out of the way while the hands are still out here as well.
Love it. Well, let's see it one last
Yep.
time. I guess not one last time. This is a gamer now.
Yeah, you get to see it twice in one swing now.
So he hit it a little low on the face, but nonetheless, so much speed involved in that. I mean, he's very effortlessly right around 160 on the quad, which is truly impressive. Love what these guys are doing. Go follow them. Seb's on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
Seb Twiddell.
Seb Tudell.
Yep.
And Matt Stubbs is on there as well. Two guys very active, pushing the boundaries of the human body. Thank you guys for joining me. Stay
Thank
tuned.
you for having us.
Don't get
Appreciate
too
it.
fast, all right? Like, give me a chance, all right?
We'll just bring you up with us.
All right, yeah. I love it.
We'll keep getting quicker together.
Yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next time.